signal, your go-to place for breaking cyber stories that actually matter. So today we are diving into one of the biggest enterprise shocks of the year, the Oracle e-business suite 0-day, the CVE 2025-61884. This is the one that let attackers hit some of the world's most important systems without even logging in. And guess what? It wasn't just any group exploiting it. The campaign is tied to Cl0p, the same crew behind Move It and Go Anywhere. So yeah, this isn't just theory. It's happening right now across real organizations. In the next few minutes, we'll unpack what this vulnerability is, how it was used, and what it means for anyone running Oracle EBS or similar ERP systems. So stick around till the end, because I'll also share what to do today to keep your business safe and a quick look into what the future might hold if you don't. All right, let's get into it. So let's break this down quickly and clearly. Here's what we know. We have CVE 2025-6184 is a 0-day flaw in Oracle's e-business suite, specifically inside the configurator component. It's pre-authenticated SSRF, which basically means attacker could poke at your system without needing a login, tricking it into exposing sensitive data from the inside. It carries a CVSS score of 7.5, but don't let that number fool you. When combined with its twin, the CVE 2025-61882, a remote code execution bug, it becomes a full chain: data theft and system takeover in one hit. So who's affected? Pretty much anyone running Oracle e-business suite from version 12.2.3 to version 12.2.14, and that's a huge global footprint. Banks, universities, manufacturers, airlines, even parts of the government networks. So if your Oracle ERP is exposed to the internet, you are in the danger zone. In the attack chain, this lands right in the initial asset phase, that critical moment where intruders go from outside to inside. From there, they can move straight into data collection and exfiltration. And as for the timing, this all surfaced around September 2025, when Cl0p began sending ransom emails to executives claiming they had stolen Oracle EBS data. Oracle rolled out 2 emergency patches soon after, one for the RCE, then another one for this SSRF just a week later. So if you're still waiting on a maintenance window, that window's already closed. Patch now. Up next, we'll look into the timeline and how this unfolded and why the urgency is higher than most. Here's how it all played out. Back in August 2025, the first signs of exploitation quietly started showing up, but no one knew it yet. Then, by late September, things went public. Executives at multiple companies started receiving Cl0p's extortion emails, claiming their Oracle EBS systems had been breached and sensitive data was stolen. That's when the scramble began. On October 4th, Oracle released its first emergency patch. That one fixed the remote code execution flaw. But it turned out the attackers had another trick, a second bug, the SSRF. And that one stayed open even after the first patch. So just a week later, on October 11th, Oracle pushed out another out-of-the-band update to close that loophole. Even after that, researchers began spotting reconnaissance scans across the internet, so attackers mapping exposed Oracle systems, looking for anyone who hadn't patched yet. So think about that timeline: a silent breach for weeks, emergency patches back to back, and now live scanning in the wild. That's not just a patch cycle, that's a race. If you're running Oracle e-business suite and you haven't applied both updates, you are already behind. Because when exploits hit this fast, later is usually too late. Now let's talk about the why this matters so much, not just for ID teams, but for the entire business. And here's why this one really matters. This wasn't just another security bug. This hit the core of how enterprises run. We're talking about ERP systems that store everything from financials and payroll to supply chain data and customer information. For attackers, that's like stealing the company's blueprint and its bank vault at the same time. Cl0p didn't bother encrypting anything. They just went straight for data theft and extortion. They exfiltrated massive amount of business data, then hit executives directly with ransom emails threatening to leak it all. And in many cases they actually did. Victims range from the Harvard University to Envoy Air, quite recently actually, and many others quietly investigating behind closed door. It shows that no sector is off limits: education, aviation, finance, manufacturing. If you use Oracle EBS, you were a potential target. The big pictures? Well, this proves attackers are now skipping the easy stuff. No phishing, no guessing passwords, just straight exploitation of enterprise software that companies depend on every single day. And for CISOs and business leaders, that's the nightmare scenario. Because it's not just about IT downtime anymore. It's about regulatory fines, legal exposure, reputational damage, and customers losing trust overnight. So what can you actually do about it? Let's talk about the 6 actions you can take right now to close the door on this attack chain. So we need to get practical. This is what to do right now to stay ahead of this attack, basically. Step 1, you have patch both vulnerabilities. That's kind of obvious, but that's the CVE 2025 61882 and 61884. Oracle released emergency updates for both, and you need both to fully break the exploit chain. If you haven't patched yet, that's your top priority today. Step 2, log it down. If your Oracle e-business suite is exposed directly to the internet, pull it back. Put it behind a VPN, an identity gateway, or at the very least restrict it to known IPs. Step 3, add a temporary web application firewall rule to block any access to /OA HTML sync servlet and configurator UI servlet. That's where the exploits hit. Stopping those requests buys you some time if patching takes a while. Step 4, rotate credentials and API keys tied to your EBS. Assume those could have been harvested if you were exposed. Step 5, hunt for signs of compromise. Check your logs for weird requests to those servlet paths, unknown admin logs, or outgoing traffic to suspicious IPs. If you spot anything, isolate that server and dig deeper. And finally, step 6, keep eyes on it, set up alerts for new admin users, unexpected config changes, or spikes in data leaving your network. I've linked a rapid patch and defense checklist and threat hunting query spec down below. They walk you through everything step by step. Download them, share them with your team, and act fast. Up next, we'll go a little deeper under the hood. Let's see exactly how this vulnerability works and why it was such an easy win for attackers. Okay, let's pop the hood and see how this vulnerability actually works. So CVE 2025-61884 lives inside Oracle e-business suite's configurator component, specifically in a servlet called UI servlet. Here's the scary part, it's pre-authentication. That means an attacker doesn't need a username, a password, or any kind of token to hit it. It's a classic server-side request forgery, or SSRF. That's when an attacker tricks your web app into making requests on its behalf. Kind of like convincing your system to call itself and hand over data it should never expose. The exploits send a crafted URL to the UI servlet, something like a return_URL parameter that points back to internal resources. Because Oracle didn't properly sanitize that input, the server follows the attacker's instructions. Boom! Internal data, configs, even metadata sent right back out. And here's where it gets worse. This SSRF was part of a two-stage chain. Stage 1, this bug, the CVE 2025-61884, let attackers gather information and pivot deeper. Stage 2, the related RCE, the 2025-61882 indexing servlet, let them execute commands remotely. So together you get recon, remote control, all pre-auth, all web-based. In the wild, attackers use this chain to drop payloads, open reverse shells, and exfiltrate data. And researchers even found leaked proof-of-concept scripts with file names like exp.py and server.py that automating the whole process. If you want to verify your own logs, look for access to these two paths, the OA HTML configurator UI servlet and the OA HTML sync servlet. If you see those outside your normal traffic patterns, especially from unknown IPs, you may have already had someone knocking on your door. This is why patching both CVEs isn't optional, is mandatory. Now that we have covered the tech, let's zoom out a bit and talk about what this means on a bigger stage, because this one isn't just about code, it's about geopolitics and business impact. So zooming out at the bigger picture, because this breach of course didn't happen in a vacuum. This is part of a much larger pattern, cybercrime crossing into geopolitics. The group behind this, Cl0p, isn't just chasing ransom money anymore. They are operating at a scale that feels more like a strategic campaign, targeting the core systems that keep global business running. Think about it. Oracle e-business suite isn't niche software. It's used by banks, governments, universities, airlines, the very backbone of modern enterprise. So when someone finds a zero-day that can expose those systems worldwide, it's not just crime, that's digital leverage. We are seeing a shift where ransomware and espionage start to overlap. Groups like Cl0p exploit 0 days, but the ripple effects stretch way beyond money. They hit supply chains, market confidence, and national security. For businesses, this marks a turning point. ERP systems once considered too critical to fail are now frontline targets. And the global regulations tightening, a breach like this doesn't just mean cleanup. It means lawsuits, audits, and months of brand recovery. From a geopolitical view, this also shows that growing divide in the cyber world. Western companies are scrambling to defend critical software while state-linked actors, or at least state-tolerated groups, are probing them faster than vendors can patch. It's part of the new digital Cold War. Power isn't just measured in weapons anymore, it's measured in access to data, infrastructure, and trust. So what happens next? What if your organization becomes the next name on that leak site? Let's look into the future and talk about what the real world scenarios, could actually unfold if you get breached through this vulnerability. So looking ahead, what actually happens if the company gets breached? In the first 30 days, things will likely move fast. Attackers quietly steal your data, and then out of nowhere, an email lands in the CEO's inbox. It's Cl0p or another group like them, claiming they've copied everything from your Oracle system. They demand payment and threaten to leak it all. At this point, you are in containment mode, isolating systems, bringing in forensics, and trying to figure out what's gone before it goes public. Then comes the 30 to 90 days window. It's when the breach hits daylight. Your name appears on the leak site, the press picks it up, customers start asking questions, and regulators come knocking. The legal and communications teams kick into overdrive. If any personal or financial data was exposed, you are looking at compliance investigations, potential fines, and reputational fallout. It's the moment leadership realizes this isn't just an IT problem, it's a business crisis. And there's the long tail, the 90 days to a year. The headline fades, but the effect lingers. Cyber insurance premiums go up, audits get tougher, new contracts come with security clauses you didn't have before. Internally, teams shift into recovery, new patch cycles, stricter controls, sometimes even re-architecting the way critical systems connect to the internet. The hard truth is this: a breach like this doesn't end when you patch, it starts when you don't. That's why treating vulnerabilities like this as a board-level issue, not just a technical one, is the only real way to get ahead of what's coming next. And that's the full picture, from the 0 day itself to the global fallout and what it means for every enterprise running Oracle e-business suite. The takeaway is simple. 0 days like this aren't rare anymore. They are part of the new reality. The faster we patch, the more we monitor, and the better we share intelligence, the smaller the attack window gets. If you want the tools I've mentioned, rapid patch checklist, threat hunting pack, full report, reach of details, and the slide deck I've just presented, they are all linked down below in the description. If this episode helped you understand the risk a little better, give it a like, subscribe to the Daily Signal for weekly, daily threat briefings, and share this video with anyone who manages enterprise system. They need to see this. Thanks for watching, stay sharp, stay secure, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Daily Signal.